Good morning, everyone. It's the day after Yom Kippur, and yesterday what were all Jews doing? Sitting in the synagogue, immersed in prayer, in deep thought, spiritual contemplation, wearing their kittel, their white clothing, and their talit, and listening to the cantor. No food, no drink, completely like the angels. And what are Jews doing today? They're going to Home Depot to buy plywood and nails and screws and drills and taking out their sukkah and becoming contractors, constructing their sukkah, the hut that we're going to live in starting Sunday night, and eat in and drink in and celebrate Sukkot for 7 days. And this really epitomizes Judaism. Judaism is a religion that builds a bridge between heaven and earth. As the opening verse of this week's Torah portion says, Ha'azinu hashamayim va'adabeira. Moses says, "Listen, O heavens, and I shall speak. V'sishma aretz imrei fi. And let the earth hear the words of my mouth." Literally what Moses is doing is he's summoning heaven and earth to listen to his words. But the Rabbi says that's what Judaism is. Judaism is that when the Jew is on the highest spiritual, celestial realms, he could still hear the call from earth, the physical, mundane requirements to infuse the world with godliness, to bring heaven down to earth. At the same time, when you're engaged in earthly, mundane activities, to be able to hear the call of heaven, the spiritual voices, and to be living in both worlds, because we have a body and we have a soul. Rabbi Steinsaltz used the following analogy once. He said, there was once an eagle that was raised amongst ducks. The duck, he walked around doing all the things that ducks do, pecking and eating. And one day someone came and told him, "You're not a duck, you're an eagle." And he showed him how to use his wings and soar to the highest spiritual realms. Sometimes we feel like we're ducks. We're just physical creatures of flesh and blood, and all we do is eat and drink and sleep and work. But then we reminded, no, you're not a duck, you're an eagle. You have a neshama, you have a godly soul, you have wings, you could soar to the highest spiritual realms. And that's what it means to be a Jew. One of the greatest examples, of course, was the Yom Kippur War in 1973. When the sirens went off that Israel was being attacked, every reservist in every synagogue took off their talis, took off their white kittel, and ran out to their homes to be drafted, to run to the battlefield to protect and defend Israel. They went from the synagogue to their tanks to fight and ward off a terrible enemy. I remember once hearing a story that, on Israeli army bases, they try to keep Shabbat as much as possible, unless it's a question of life and death. And on a certain army base, on all the army bases, there is a protocol that when soldiers go out on a search or on a mission, or they go out to do guard duty, if they leave the base, they sign out in a book what time they left, who left, and like this they could know where everyone is and be accountable. Well, the question was, is this necessary to write in the book on Shabbat? Because Shabbat you're not supposed to write. And if it's not necessary, maybe they shouldn't do that. And they asked the rabbi. The rabbi said, absolutely, they should write into the log when they left, who left, what time they left. Why? Because the purpose of that log is to let the soldiers, in case the soldiers don't get back or they don't come back on time, the base will know that they're missing and go out to look for them and search them and make sure they're safe. And so the rabbi said, when the soldier signs into the book and he goes out on his mission, he knows that someone knows where he is, what time he left, what time he's expected back, and therefore he feels that he's being protected, he's being looked out for, that someone is there to know where he is at all times and care about him, that he comes back safe. And the rabbi said that in itself can give the soldier the confidence on his mission, knowing that there are those back on the base that will come looking for him, God forbid, if he's missing, if he doesn't return on time. And therefore that too could lead to the saving of lives, the soldiers and others. And therefore they should sign out before they leave the army base. And that's what Judaism is all about. Judaism is all about living in two worlds and combining the two, marrying heaven and earth, bringing heaven down to earth, and elevating the earth towards the heavens. Have a wonderful day.